Congratulations, $200 million. That was the headline.
I don't know nothing about no numbers. They be like, you got the machine behind you. I'm not the first talent to have a machine behind me. Yeah, because I watched the episode with Ian.
The podcast space is a bubble.
Is what?
A bubble.
Oh, yeah. It's popped already.
And it's popped.
You're going to see it crumble right now.
The podcast industry is dying. No, it's not.
I ain't gonna lie, yo, since Breakfast Club been on Netflix, man, our engagement, our people be, all the fans that we built up over time, well, that they built up, I just got here, that they built up over time on YouTube, oh my God, they feel neglected because Netflix was like, nope, we want all of it. Y'all can't have no other social media presence, none. So now we gotta find other content to do that can go on our other platforms, but it's okay because Just Hilarious got that in a bag, shorty. So make sure y'all tune into Just's Thoughts. I started doing a segment where
you buy one of something, you pay premium. You buy 50 of something, you get a deal. Both parties win. In fact, I'm sure even the creators of the shows got a bump in their salary.
Yeah, they had to get an extra
bump in their salary.
Welcome back and what's good? This is the Furious Robinson podcast and I'm your host, Furious. I'm here to document ego, power, leverage, and accountability in media. Hit the like button early, drop a comment for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. This is a Sick Times media production. You see the planes. Ian Schwartzman, Joe Budden's manager and business partner, jumped out the window. Not only was he hating on the iHeart deal in real time, in my opinion, but he said that the Joe Budden podcast was the new SNL.
We're the SNL of 2025, of this generation. We're the Office meets SNL.
That's good. That's a good one.
We're a platform. Like, we hope you use us and then go off and do your own thing.
I love to talk contracts, but the new Saturday Night Live? What? Meaning the Joe Budden podcast is a springboard. Essentially a launch pad for new talent. Let's make it make sense because I don't see it. Calling the show super premium content.
You buy one of something, you pay premium. You buy 50 of something, you get a deal. Both parties win. In fact, I'm sure even the creators of the shows got a bump in their salary.
Yeah, they had to get an extra
bump in their salary.
So when I look at the $200 million Charlamagne deal coming through iHeart and Netflix and how Ian was able to really speculate in real time, he seemed a little bit misinformed, but let's just wake it up.
Yeah, I keep seeing people say that. It's just like, my partner is iHeart. Like, that is who, we already have the infrastructure there.
Right.
So I don't understand.
So you just got 200 million.
I don't know nothing about those numbers.
Because
I don't know nothing about no numbers.
So that's why I have to salute to EYL on this one to really get us into a true business discussion. So if you about your entrepreneurship, if you really trying to get your motion off the ground, this is going to be a great discussion. So please stick around.
I won't say too much about her. I wish Mel the best in whatever she's doing. But we do want people to leave.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I tried to.
We do want people to leave. Like, I think that's a misconception. If that's what they think, we definitely want people to leave.
Now, conceptually, that sounds brilliant, but when you actually look at the current cast dynamic, you got Freeze who can barely speak. You got Mona who goes off on these long diatribes, these monologues, and sometimes is so late to the show that she doesn't even show up. And then you got Queen's Flip, who is basically a human laugh track for Joe Budden. So the real question to me is these couches actually building stars, or are we getting more Joes in the 1099 universe?
It just hit me the other day, like some niggas online be betting against me, and I be wanting to give them clues. I be wanting to get them niggas hints, like, yo, bad time, change some of the takes. I'm telling you, don't doubt them creative niggas. They thinking wacko shit, and it comes to fruition, mindset, mood set, the next, oh my God, play some music. Play some music, boy. Yo, this next move so big, I don't even worry about the fact I'm underpaid right now.
When people talk about Black Effect, they forget I'm the CEO of Black Effect.
Correct.
Right.
What do CEOs get?
Salary.
Exactly. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm also a talent at Breakfast Club.
Right.
What do talents get?
Salary.
Yeah. So if you look at, Breakfast Club has been around for 15 years, number one nationally syndicated morning show in the country.
And let's just be real. This conversation is bigger than Joe Budden, because what Ian is really talking about is the future of podcasting. The industry is shifting. The bubble has not yet popped. The Spotify bag era is slowing down. But if you really think about it, 584 million people were listening to podcasts in 2025. So even though the ad money is tightening and creators are realizing something very important, you either got to have some ownership or build an infrastructure. Joe Budden represents an independent IP. Charlamagne represents the corporate conglomerate.
They don't give a fuck what show. This is Netflix. They don't care what works and what doesn't. That's why they're not negotiating with individual shows right now. Now, I don't know what your conversation with Charlamagne was, but he didn't negotiate that deal with Netflix, right?
Yeah, because I watched the episode with Ian. Like, there's no package deal. Hey, we're just gonna give you these 15 podcasts, Netflix.
So that didn't happen.
No. And I can't speak for everybody, but come on, man.
They both have their pros and cons, but for Ian to jump out the window like this.
What do you think is happening with Netflix and iHeart? I think, I'm just guessing, iHeart's having trouble making money on the audio side of all their businesses, terrestrial radio, digital. They don't know how to monetize it themselves. Yes, on a passive ad revenue fill, maybe they're filling 30 to 50% of their ad inventory, but that's nothing. That's low level.
So Ian's main argument is actually very simple. Most podcasters are broke and are looking for that check, not because podcasting doesn't work, but because creators misunderstand the business. Everybody saw those Spotify deals and thought the formula was easy. Start a podcast, build an audience, you get rich. I don't think that's how it works. If we really get to that actual formula, it's the audience gives you leverage. Leverage creates a deal, and then maybe you might be able to scale. When people skip the first step of building that audience, really get into that tribe, really attacking their community with intention, they end up signing these booty deals. They think they're bigger than the program and bigger than their audience. Eventually, these companies got to realize the numbers don't justify the money, because you can look at podcasters in the space. Julian, formerly of Rory and Maul, the Need to Know podcast, who essentially quit. And then this is where the bubble looks like it has popped. No, the industry is recalibrating.
Mass corporate integration with products. They want to see real money. They have to give over an asset that is helping another company gain market share. What helps market share? When you could bundle up 50 shows, 50 iHeart shows that have video components to it, and say, all 50 of these are now property of Netflix. What happens with the creators? They go, yay, I'm on Netflix. But what really just happened is there was an enormous acquisition between Netflix and iHeart. Netflix paid iHeart multiples of the value of those vodcasts, so that iHeart actually had a margin on these 50 shows that they've been investing in for years.
Spotify created the illusion that everyone could get a deal, and that's not the case. So they broke a lot of podcasters over time, because when you see the Joe Rogans, when you see the Alex Coopers and other celebrities getting these massive deals and building these essential networks, you think once you pick up the microphone, now you could get jiggy and you got your multi-million-dollar contract. That's not how the game works.
Okay, you see this? Black Effect Podcast Network. All right. You might want to go read a couple of articles about us. Go read the cover story
with a woman
of Vibe magazine.
Who the woman is, whatever.
Oh, that me and Dolly did. Or go read the USA Today piece that they did on us this year, because we celebrated 5 years. You know, I pay attention to the whole game. I got to. Oh, go read the Variety. I was on the cover of Variety this year too. Go read that.
And I want to take a step back to Ian's SNL theory. The cast, to me, rotating, this is a springboard. I don't get it, because when I see Ice give miserable takes, when I see Ish hold off and not say things, when I see Flip continue to laugh but never say a word through any music, when I see Mona essentially still not understand that she's the B mic, how can we call this SNL? Because If we really think about some of the stars that SNL were to produce, and we're going to get there, they only were there for about maybe 3 years.
But the goal was, how do we become non-reliant on the systems that are in place for everyone else? Mm-hmm. That was the goal. People want something that is so fucking pipe dreamy, man. And like at some point, as leadership in this industry, we have to stop putting these ridiculous numbers in front of people and just say, hey, work on securing 100 people to subscribe to your channel. 100, then work on 1,000.
And that sounds great on paper. It sounds great in theory, because historically, SNL was a launch pad for some of the biggest entertainers in history. Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell. The show created stars. But here's the real question. Is the Joe Budden podcast actually doing that? No. We can look at the cast in real time and know that they essentially play it political around certain points. They hold themselves back when it comes to things they do not want to speak about. And that's cool. I understand that. We're playing a game where we don't want to step on too many toes. But when you have to give it up, when you have to actually be entertaining and be funny, why are you guarding your takes? Why are you thinking about the outside world if this is actually COE, content over everything? That's what they promote on the Joe Budden podcast. They promote independency, but yet these guys are 1099 workers on the Joe Budden stimmy.
In 10 years, I don't think my daughter and her friends will be looking for jobs at a restaurant as waiters and waitresses. I think they're going to be content creators.
Ian's business model is easy to understand. If he believes that the new 9-to-5 job will be content creation, why would he want everyone signing to a large corporate structure? It does not make sense. But to play into that everyone is getting jerked, everyone is in 360s, these people are essentially on salary and being manipulated around these deals, that, kind of insinuation into these deals is a little bit nasty to me. I can't hold you.
Some common sense needs to happen here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Everybody looks at these, the corporations, they got a monopoly over everything. Like, no, I think everybody gets treated very fair. And I think that everybody's capable of doing their own negotiating.
So licensing.
But if we're talking fair business, if we're talking people who understand contracts and know how to get it across the finish line, why do we think that this was not a lucrative deal for everyone involved? If we're doing a deal with Netflix, we're making it seem like this is Tubi. Like it's a deal with Netflix where people are already there.
We're on Netflix, man. Stop acting like y'all don't have motherfucking Netflix. I'm sick of y'all acting like y'all don't have Netflix. It actually disgusts me. If it was any other paywall, I would completely understand. Netflix been around just as long as The Breakfast Club. It's on everybody's remote controls. It's in hotel rooms. You got Netflix.
So a lot of this to me in the space is hate. Most people didn't think Charlamagne was going to be able to secure 9 figures off of iHeart and Netflix. You got to clap it up for that. You got to respect the deals that are being made in real time.
The podcast space is a bubble.
Is what?
A bubble.
Oh, yeah. It's popped already.
And it's popped.
You're going to see it crumble right now.
And that's where I don't agree with Ian, because I can understand you want to promote independent IPs. I can understand you see where the future of podcasting and creation is going, and you believe this to be the next entry-level job. So yeah, why not? Why would we want to promote signing to these big companies and losing ownership when we can build from the ground up? I get it. Very motivational, very stoic. But at the end of the day, a lot of these creators don't even have the skill set to talk business.
Shazam!
They don't know how to build an infrastructure, and some of them are sitting right on your platform. You have Ice, who's been sitting up there for 5 years, as well as Ish. You have Imani trying to figure it out in real time, and we can see his value through his YouTube. So at the end of the day, what are we actually preaching if it's not being practiced within our own structure?
The podcast industry is dying. No, it's not.
But as I gracefully land the plane, the podcast industry is entering a new phase. The gold rush is over. The Spotify bag is dried up and has slowed down. And as creators are realizing something very important, content alone is not enough. You need an audience to build leverage, and a business strategy. You need some structure in your life. Ian represents an independent IP. Charlamagne represents an infrastructure model. And the next decade of podcasting will probably be a mix of both. But one thing is very certain here. If the Joe Budden podcast really is the SNL of podcasting, eventually somebody on them couches has to become a star. But jump in the comments and let me know what you think. Do you believe the $200 million deal? Do you think that the Joe Budden podcast is the new SNL and Freeze is going to turn out to be the new Eddie Murphy? I'm waiting on that one. Hit the like button for that algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. This is the Furious Robinson podcast, a Sick Times Media production. Stay dangerous.